Okay, so this is Angkor Wat. You've probably seen this picture 1,000 times. It's a silhouette that's become a global icon. But what if I told you that this building has a life story as dramatic and as full of twists as any great empire? We're talking about a 900-year saga of creation, reinvention, and just pure survival. Let's dive in and uncover the incredible biography of this building.
First off, let's just try to wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this place. 162.6 hectares. To put that in perspective for you, that's about 400 acres, or roughly 4 times the size of Vatican City. This isn't just a temple. We're talking about a city built for the gods.
And, that massive size just makes its survival story even more mind-boggling. Think about it. It's gone through the fall of an empire, the jungle trying to swallow it whole, a brutal civil war, and rampant theft. So the big question is, how? I mean, really, how is this 900-year-old masterpiece still here? Well, that's the story we're diving into.
All right, let's rewind. Our story starts way back in the 12th century with this incredible vision to build a literal mountain on Earth. And right from the get-go, this place had 2 jobs, a really grand dual purpose. First, it was meant to be a palace for the Hindu god Vishnu, and second, it was going to be the final resting place for the king who dreamed it all up, Suryavarman II. The man behind this whole thing was King Suryavarman II of the Khmer Empire. And get this, soon after he takes the throne, he kicks off what is, no exaggeration, one of the most ambitious building projects in all of human history. We're talking nearly 40 years of work to finish it, a massive, massive undertaking, all dedicated to the god Vishnu. And here, you can basically see the blueprint for that vision. See that huge moat on the outside? That's not just for decoration. It represents the cosmic ocean. And then you have these galleries, one inside the other, leading you to those 5 central towers. This wasn't just about building something that looked good. No, this was their entire belief system, their theology, carved right into stone.
The whole point of the layout was to create a physical copy of Mount Meru. Now, Mount Meru is this mythical 5-peaked mountain that, in Hindu and Buddhist beliefs, is the literal center of the entire cosmos. So, those 5 main towers at Angkor Wat? Yeah, you guessed it, those are the 5 peaks of Mount Meru. They were literally building heaven on Earth.
But here's where things get really interesting. A little architectural mystery. Almost every other Khmer temple faces east, towards the rising sun, but not Angkor Wat. It faces west. Now, why would they do that? Well, one theory is it's a nod to Vishnu, who's linked to the west. But west is also the direction of the setting sun. It symbolizes endings, the end of life. And that's a huge clue that King Suryavarman wasn't just building a temple for his kingdom. He was building his own spectacular tomb. Okay, so for any building this old to still be around, it has to be adaptable, right? It has to change with the times. And Angkor Wat's first big test, its first great act of survival, had nothing to do with its stone walls. It came from a massive shift in faith. A new religion came along, and instead of destroying it, it actually saved it.
So here's what happened. The turning point was a really brutal invasion by the Chams in 1177. When the Khmer Empire finally bounced back, they started embracing a new religion, Buddhism. So the temple slowly but surely gets transformed into a Theravada Buddhist site, a place for monks. And honestly, this was the absolute key to it surviving. Why? Because it never became a ruin. It was always in use, always had people living there taking care of it. And that protection lasted for centuries.
Now you gotta understand, this wasn't like a hostile takeover. It was more of an adaptation, a layering of beliefs. The original dedication to Vishnu is still there, but now it was combined with Buddhist worship. They started adding new statues of the Buddha right next to these ancient Hindu carvings. And the temple, which was once this exclusive royal place, turned into this bustling hub for pilgrims from all over Asia. It was a total transformation that basically gave it a second life.
But as all empires do, the Khmer Empire eventually declined. The capital city moved somewhere else, and while, local monks and people living nearby always knew the temple was there, for the rest of the world, it kind of vanished. The jungle just started to creep in and swallow it whole. It basically faded from global memory, which of course set the stage for this dramatic rediscovery later on.
I mean, can you even imagine being one of the first Europeans to just stumble across this place? Back in 1586, someone recorded the account of a Portuguese friar, and his words are just pure awe. He can barely find the language to describe it. He calls it like no other building in the world and says it has all the refinements which the human genius can conceive of. Just incredible.
And this image here?
This is exactly the kind of thing that completely captured the world's imagination in the 1800s. You had explorers like Henri Mouhot and artists like Louis de la Porte coming back with these wild stories and incredible pictures of a lost city being reclaimed by the jungle. It was this super romantic idea of a forgotten masterpiece, and that vision is what made Angkor Wat a household name. But that romantic vision of a beautiful ruin, well, it was about to slam into a much harsher reality. The 20th century threw everything it had at Angkor Wat. It became this desperate race against time to save it from war, from thieves, and just from centuries of natural decay.
This picture is just gut-wrenching. Those marks you're seeing on the walls, those aren't from age. They're bullet holes. During the Cambodian Civil War and the horrific Khmer Rouge regime, the temple literally became a battlefield. These scars are a physical, brutal reminder of just how close we came to losing this place forever.
The modern history is just a complete roller coaster. So the French started conservation work way back in 1908, but when the Khmer Rouge took over in 1975, all that work just stopped, completely abandoned. And in the chaos that followed, looters just ran rampant, hacking off priceless statues, destroying ancient carvings. It got so bad that by 1992, UNESCO had to take this emergency step and declare it a World Heritage Site in danger. But that alarm bell, that cry for help, it was heard. And what happened next is, honestly, one of the greatest stories of international cooperation you'll ever hear. The global community came together with a single mission, to pull this incredible monument back from the very brink of destruction.
You had teams from all over the world. We're talking France, Japan, India, the US, Italy, Germany, China, so many more. They formed this incredible global coalition. They threw in their money, their scientific expertise, and just their pure passion for the place. It was this amazing moment of recognition that, hey, Angkor Wat doesn't just belong to Cambodia. It belongs to all of us. It's a human treasure.
And right here, you can see exactly what that global effort looks like. On the left, you've got this beautiful Naga, a mythical serpent guardian that has been painstakingly put back together by these expert teams. But then look at the picture on the right, that weathered, headless lion statue. That's what they were up against. That's the level of decay and damage they were fighting. The difference between these two images just says it all. It's a powerful testament to what can be achieved when the world works together.
So where does that leave us today? Well, Angkor Wat is so much more than just an old monument. It's the absolute heart of Cambodia's national identity. I mean, it's right there on their flag. And it's also a crucial economic engine. It brings in millions of tourists every year, and that tourism supports countless local families and communities.
So when you think about it, its life story has really come full circle. It started out as a tomb for a king and a home for a god. Then it survived because it became a Buddhist sanctuary. It got a second life as this romantic, jungle-covered ruin. Then it barely made it through the horrors of modern war. And now, it's been reborn. It's a symbol of Cambodian resilience, and really, of our shared human genius. Ultimately, the biography of this incredible building is a story of survival. Just pure survival against all odds. And that kind of leaves us with one last big question to think about. After everything it's been through, what's it going to take from all of us to make sure this legacy is still standing another 900 years from now?